Hey, Picks and Parlay family, it's me, Detroit Lenny, here with your new world premiere, world-renowned world premiere Power Hour with Picks and Parlays, where we're going to be talking all things NFL. With me today, we're going to have a array of special guests throughout the week and throughout the show, actually. But with me today, we brought in the man, the myth, the legend. We're just going to start him off right. Start you guys off right with some knowledge about some NFL win totals and whatnot. So we are going to bring in Craig Trapp. How we doing, Mr. Trapp? How's it? This is a Power Hour of the new show here, so bear with us, everybody. But this is what we're rolling out for you guys. So we're obviously got a big sponsor with BetMGM, everything like that. Craig, talk to us about the Power Hour show. Tell them what they're going to be seeing, or what the future brings, I should say.
Well, it's just we're gonna be giving all things football, a lot of football talk. Obviously, college football, NFL season, we're over a month away, but it's not too early to start looking ahead. For right now, we're talking about win totals, odd predictions, conference predictions, MVP. We're going to be talking everything about the upcoming football season. We'll also probably be adding in some daily, what we like for that day. Like today, All-Star game or All-Star break, we've got the Home Run Derby tonight. I don't know about you, Lenny. I kind of think Alonso's going to get beat this year. Obviously, he's trying to be the first three-time winner since the only other three-time winner was Ken Griffey Jr., my hometown Cincinnati kid. I don't think he can do it this year. I actually like Kyle Schwarber plus 320. I actually think Alonso gets beat in the first round matchup. So I don't know. What do you think, Lenny?
I'm kind of I'm gonna go full on degenerate here and kind of input live bet some stuff here. I do have so far bet. I have Julio Rodriguez to get out of the first round against Seager. I have him to move on to the second round. That's what I have bet so far. And then I kind of like Pujols just after early looking at everybody. The over-under on his longest home run is 459.5. I think he gets one for 460 plus, just one. And hopefully it's in the first round because we all know he's going to get winded. But I like those two so far. I mean, I probably got 5 or 6 swings in me myself, and then I'm going to get winded. So I think Pujols maybe gets 10 to 15 swings before he taps out and he's calling for the Gatorade. He's like, that's it. I can't do it. Hopefully he makes big guys everywhere proud tonight, and he gets at least one for 460. So
obviously good that we see both. The commissioner added 2 guys this year. We both got Pujols and Cabrera both getting in for the All-Star game this year. So excited. Obviously, these guys at this point in their career, good to still see them in it. There's a lot of young guys, a lot of guys out for the All-Star game. So I'm sure we'll talk more about that tomorrow in our Picks and Parlays Power Hour show. So, but absolutely. I do think tonight, I think it's going to be exciting because it's not like it was in last year in Colorado where it was like, you touch the ball, it's going out. You can hit the ball hard and a good contact at Dodger Stadium, and you're not hitting it out. So I don't think we're going to see the huge numbers that we have in years past because it takes a lot to get one out of Dodger Stadium.
Absolutely. And it was fun to watch last year, and I'm just going to be the kid in me. I'm just going to resort back to 15-year-old Lenny and want to watch as a fan. Degenerate Lenny's going to be throwing $20 bills on everywhere, probably. And like at some point, I'll have a bet on everybody that's entered the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, you're going to win like half your wagers and still lose.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk some NFL though. We got NFL going on. That's what this show is going to be about. We're going to touch base on what's happening daily throughout sports. Obviously, how can we not? But we're going to get into some NFL. We're going to talk college football as well throughout the year. Your hometown Bengals, speaking of hometown, Cincinnati, you got a win total here. I'm going to pull this up here. Regular season win total of 9.5. Obviously, the Bengals exceeded expectations last year. I think anyway.
Yes.
But how do you feel about them this year? Because I have mixed emotions. I love them, but I feel like everybody loves them now. Well, so I don't like them as much.
10-7 last year, but I definitely thought they were helped down the stretch. Obviously, the Baltimore Ravens, let's remember, with about halfway through the season, the Baltimore Ravens looked like they were going to walk through or be one of the top seeds in the AFC. Of course, Lamar Jackson goes down. So I think you're kind of right there. The Bengals were a year ahead of plan.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Joe Burrow coming back from knee injury. No one really knew if he could kind of step back in without having any rust. He was amazing last year. He was amazing as a rookie until he got injured. So, and obviously Jamar Chase. Let's remember in the preseason, people were saying he might be a bust because he was dropping balls and he had the dropsies. Well, now he's top 3, top 4 receiver in football. Chase and Burrow, probably the top receiver combination in football now that Tyreek Hill's been traded to Miami Dolphins. So I think obviously there's a lot of buzz in Cincinnati. Believe me, I'm there. I know, but I think the worry is, Cleveland. If Deshaun Watson doesn't get suspended, and while we're in the middle of July 18th, in fact, when we're doing this video, we don't know what that suspension is going to be. A year, 6 games, 10 games. People say indefinite. We really don't know. I think at this point you have to say that it's going to be at least 10 games. I think that's 8 to 10 games is probably what most people are thinking it's going to end up being. And that means you're going to have 3 of the best teams in football in the same division: the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. The Steelers, for once, are the worst team, at least on paper, with an unproven quarterback with the Roethlisberger experience. So to me, if you look at the Bengals schedule, I think they at least get 10 wins. I think they're going to end up the same as last year. So I'm definitely liking the over here. The question mark on the team, offensive line is improved a ton. But can the defense hold up? Because at times last year, not so good. And, when you have your top safety that won't sign his franchise tag, and Jesse Bates, now he's saying he's willing to sit out the whole season. Who knows if that – I'm guessing he's just not going to sign towards the end of the training camp, so he doesn't have to go through training camp. Since he's not signed, he won't get suspended, and he'll still get the money either way, just to try to avoid injuries. But I just can't imagine a guy sitting out at his age, sitting out a whole year and not taking the $12 million guaranteed. But who knows? But the defense is the question this year. I think the offensive line is finally fixed. I think their running game is going to be good because you got to improve offensive line. You probably don't have a team out there that has as deep receivers as the Bengals from top to bottom. And you have Joe Burrow, obviously top 4 or 5 quarterback in the league now. So the other thing is there's usually a Super Bowl hangover for most teams. But since the Bengals were such a come from nowhere team, and really most people thought this would be the year that the Bengals would be good, I still like the over here. I think the over 9.5 has a lot of value here. I see it at BetMGM, and I've already bet it once, and I'm probably going to bet it again. I'm interested to see what happens once the Watson thing happens, if it's less or more, how this affects the win totals of the Bengals, though. So I could probably bet it again once that happens.
I like it. I mean, I think they fall right on that 10 number. I think they're going to be worse than last year, but still come out in the same spot as far as win total goes. I think they're still 10-7. That division's tough. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think the Ravens will be better than what they were last year. I think the Browns are just the Browns. I don't know what to say about them without being disrespectful. Cleveland, you might be in I don't know. As a Lions fan, I don't know how to be worse than Detroit and Cleveland. You are trying hard, man. You are trying hard. But the Bengals are the bright spot of Ohio for sure in that football organization.
The Browns, if Watson plays, I think are actually have a higher win total than the Bengals if he wasn't, have a suspension. So I think they're actually a deeper team. They're a more well-rounded team. They have the best running game in football. Look at the Bengals. This is the Bengals schedule outside of the AFC North. Second week, they play Dallas. Third week, the Jets. Fourth week, the Dolphins. Sixth week, they play the Saints. Seventh week, they play the Falcons. I believe that's the 9th or 10th week, they play the Panthers. Then the Titans, the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Patriots, the Bills. So a pretty tough schedule. I think they can get 5 wins out of conference, maybe 6. And I think probably 6 out of conference, to be very honest. And then that means you got to go 4-2. 4-2 in conference. I think they could split with the Browns, split with the Ravens, and I think they're going to sweep the Steelers. So that's how I got to 10 wins. And, maybe even 11 because, you never know. If Watson's out the whole year, the Bengals could go could go 5-1 in their division. So I think it's an exciting year for the AFC. The AFC is loaded this year. I mean, loaded.
Everywhere from the AFC North to the AFC West. The AFC is just loaded. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, I'm just trying to think of something more intelligent to say than just loaded, and it's not working. Loaded is where it's at. I mean, they are just
the Texans,
locked.
Only the Texans and the Jaguars are just absolutely dumpster fires. I mean, even the Jets, I think this year are going to be much improved. So it's like,
I love the Jets. I love the Jets. I love everything about the Jets. I love their coach. I love when they hired him. I've said this a million times on shows. He's a Michigan native. I wanted the Lions to hire him when they hired Dan Campbell. They went with Dan Campbell. I got no issues with Dan Campbell for the Lions or anything like that. But Robert Saleh, who's the head coach of the New York Football Jets, I think I like the way that guy. I just like the way his DNA is made up. I like the way he coaches. I like everything about him.
I like their draft. I like their draft.
I like
too.
the draft.
Yep.
I think the Jets are going to surprise some people, and especially in that division. I don't believe in Miami. Let me rephrase. I don't believe in Miami's quarterback. I think they're going to have quarterback issues. Let me be clear. I think they have talent all around him, but now you're going to find out that Tua can't throw the ball more than 20 yards accurately. And Miami's going to have some problems. So I think that leaves the door open. Besides the Bills, who are obviously king of the hill. Yep. Patriots are going to slip in there. So but the Bengals,
I think it's going to be a great AFC North. Like I said, the AFC North, AFC West, probably the two in the AFC, the strongest two divisions. Right. But like I said, maybe the South because you have the Jags and the Texans in the same division. But I think the Colts and the who am I missing? The Titans are both going to be really good. So hey, I like the over 9.5 Bengals. A little bit of a homer play. Obviously, I'm from Cincinnati, but I mean, you just look at the numbers. I mean, the numbers talk to you as a handicapper. So, and very few times am I on the Bengals actually as a handicapper as far as betting the spread. I'm usually just looking elsewhere unless I don't have a choice.
I feel the same way about my Lions. Like I try not to bet them, but I end up at somewhere on a Sunday thinking, maybe just a little bit.
It's one thing to put your money. But when I have the huge group of followers that follow me and pay for my plays and pay to listen to me, or sometimes they're doing it for free, like here, I just feel like maybe let's just put my, take the Bengals rose-colored glasses off and just look somewhere else.
That's fair. And that's fair. That's why you're the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, because everybody follows you. It's like a cult. We're all following Craig Trapp. I don't know what to tell you. But I like this over 9.5 wins. I'm on that. I appreciate you stopping by and everything like that. We have other guests, Craig. We can't just spend all day on you. I don't know what to tell you.
The idea is, everybody can follow me every day. I do the free picks every day here at Picks and Parlays. But, a lot. You don't get all of our experts as many times. So you're going to probably have 15 to 15 of our other guys that are going to be on probably more than I am, actually, to be very honest. So make sure you follow their stuff. You hit their like, you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you do all that stuff.
I appreciate you stopping by. Till then, take the Cincinnati Bengals over win total 9.5. We're going to move on. I'm going to kick you on out of here. I'm going to talk some other football with another prestige gentleman from Picks and Parlays. Well, maybe not so much prestige. It was Tim Earl. Don't tell nobody. But thanks for stopping by. We will see you again, my friend. I'm going to bounce Craig on out of here. All right, guys. Now we're going to move on out. We're going to bring in another friend of mine, I should say, Mr. Timothy Earl. We're going to bring in, and we're going to talk some football as well. Tim, first of all, how are you doing? How are your home run props? You got anything crazy going on?
I think, I'm on Alonso, but I'm a New York guy, so that only makes sense. But I'm also on J-Ram. I like Jose Ramirez. I think he could be a interesting spot today, undervalued because nobody's looking at Cleveland. Everybody is after Julio Rodriguez and Kyle Schwarber and Acuna, and I want to look. It's not quite Pujols. I think he's about 14-1 or 15-1. Is Jose Ramirez to win it? I would take a shot at that. I also have a chunk of money on Alonso as well because, a 3-time champion, or he's won it twice already. He knows what he's doing. I'm on Alonso, but I think J-Ram and Alonso for the finals.
I like it. I read an article on ESPN that was showing it was he's got a whole 10-step process that he has for the home run derby.
Yes,
he takes it serious. He's into this. He really takes pride in it.
Oh, yeah.
He talks about hydrating a lot and timing your timeouts.
And one of the main things I look at with the home run derby is you got to get the players that are going to hit line drives. You do not want the guys who are going to hit absolute moonshot nukes. Although that is fun to watch, I don't think that's a good thing because obviously you can't throw a pitch until the ball lands. So hitting line drives over the fence is going to be great because you're going to get a couple extra swings. And with Lonzo, that's important because he's got a long swing. But players like Soto, players like Schwarber are going to hit absolute nukes, which is great for entertainment. I don't necessarily think it's going to work all that well when it comes to trying to get as many as they can as fast as they can. So more line drive hitters like him, like Ramirez and Julio Rodriguez. I like him in the first round as well. I know Nick is on Seager, but I think those guys are going to have the advantage because they have better swings or more home run derby-esque swings for the timed era.
I like that.
Now, if we were doing the 10 outs, Schwarber, Soto, all of them fantastic options. But when it comes to the timed one, I think that's the best option.
I like that. I like the way you said that. I like the way you worded that. Very well put. All right, so let's talk. Listen, this show's about football, man.
Yes.
This is the real deal. All right, so Tim, welcome first of all to the Power Hour on Picks and Parlays, being one of on the first show ever, our soft launch here of this, and it is we do film this on July 18th, so we're looking at win totals here. But once the show gets up and moving, again, we're going to talk college football. We're going to have a lot of stuff to go over. College is right around the corner. Football, NFL, obviously, right around the corner as well.
Yeah.
You got tasked, I should say, with the great privilege of going over the Carolina Panthers regular season win total over under 6.5. I know it's one of your favorite teams. Obviously, you're rocking the jersey. It matches your eyes. It's all that fun stuff. I have no idea what Tim's eyes are or color, but I'm just making stuff up right now. Yeah, see, there you go. But let's talk Carolina Panthers because they have made some moves in the offseason. The total is set lower, 6.5. What are you thinking on this? Where you? I know where you're going to go, but explain to everybody what's happened in the offseason for Carolina and give us some background here a little bit on this.
Yeah, I just want to preface the jersey real quick. Me and Nick have a collection of jerseys. I knew I was the Panthers. I threw it on. I do live in North Carolina. I am not a Panthers fan. I'm actually a Jets fan, so you up talking my Jets made me feel good for a minute. But no, this Carolina Panthers team, going into the offseason, I was thinking, they're going to have Sam Darnold, which is, as a Jets fan, I know about him. Now they moved on, and they kind of picked up Baker. I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to work out because they'll have Christian McCaffrey, which I think we can give him a over-under, 3 games that he'll play this year because he's
already feeling hurt.
Oh, he's never. I think the Panthers should dump him and try to work build up around other players. So this, I'm on the under. I really don't think that this is going to be all that good. The Panthers this year. I was kind of looking through their schedule, trying to really map out games that they could possibly win. They start off against the Browns, which is already a very interesting game because it's Baker versus his old team. I think the Panthers have a shot at that one. That would be one that I think they could win. But then they go to New York to face the Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to be good, but I think the Giants win that game. They play the Saints. Yeah. The Saints are better. They play the Cardinals. Cardinals will smoke them, even in Carolina. They play the Niners, loss. Rams, loss. Bengals, Buccaneers. They're most likely going to get swept by them. I think they split against the Falcons. So they play them the October 30th and November 10th in between with the Bengals in between. I think they lose to the Bengals. I think they split with Atlanta. So that's 2 wins now. They lose to Ravens. Although I'm not high on the Broncos, I think they lose to the Broncos. Seattle, but they're in Seattle, so that one could be a loss. Steelers, that one could be a toss-up game. But at this point, they're already under their total, and then they get the Lions, which you never know. You never know.
That's a loss.
That can go either way. That one is in Carolina. And then they book the Buccaneers.
I feel so good about it now.
I think they win week 1 versus the Browns. I think they get a win against the Falcons, say, on November 10th in Carolina. Maybe the Seahawks. So I'm looking at like 2 to 3 wins here. Because this is not supposed to be a good team, even with Baker. But Baker's stats were awful. The Carolina offense is not going to be particularly good this year, and their defense is the only thing that kept them in games, but I think that's bound for regression. So I'm looking at 2 to 3 wins this year for the Panthers. Now, could they go and upset a couple teams? Sure, they could get a win against the Giants. They could beat the Lions. They could beat Seattle. I just don't see 7 wins for them on the board.
So they finished 5-12 last year.
Yeah.
And I agree with you for the record here. I think they get closer to the 6.5 than you do with 2 or 3 wins. But I do think they can. I think realistically, we joke about Christian McCaffrey and his health and staying healthy or whatever. I think he plays a little bit further in the year, maybe inspired with some from Baker. I think Baker plays inspired. I don't know if Baker wins you games, though. Okay, no. I think Baker keeps you more in games last year. Yeah. I mean, point differential was like 142 point differential last year. That works out to, I mean, over a 17-game period, they're losing by close to a touchdown, 10 points a game. I think that's closer. I think their defense is good, not great. You know, like
the defense was the only thing that kept them in games.
Right.
And I mean, you can get Christian McCaffrey, but you can't have your entire offense be Christian McCaffrey. And that's their only offensive piece right now. What do they? I think they might still have DJ Moore, but
yes,
this is not a team that I want to go out and bet. If I bet them twice this year, I'd be surprised.
And Robbie Anderson, decent wide receiver there.
Oh,
in Carolina.
Yeah, Anderson. I mean, I remember him playing for the Jets. He was all right.
Yeah, he's a catch and run kind of guy. Like, he's a slot guy, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. So I don't hate it here on this under 6.5. I think that's just an easy way to go, to be honest with you. And I don't want to say easy money, but Carolina's like the Chicago Bears of the South, man. They just can't get it together.
No, they can't.
They always have a pretty good defense, a pretty good running game, and they can't get it wise going, in my opinion. And I'm not trying to be the Lions guy that just bashes on the Bears, but you talk to anybody, man. Bears fans are excited about the Bears. They are not. So Carolina's just the Southern version of them. So
yeah.
But I like it, Tim. I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by for the first ever Picks and Parlays Power Hour and all that good stuff. We are going to wrap it up. We appreciate everybody stopping by. Don't forget to visit our friends over at BetMGM. Their promo links in the description of the video here down below. Follow that as well. Other than that, Tim, you got any?
No, I think we're good to go.
All right, brother. I will see you guys on the flip side. Remember, Power Hour Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern. We will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Good luck, unless you're against me.